Nathan Cox here, guys. Great project here we're going to do. We're going to put in a new ceiling fan, okay? Now this video will apply to most any ceiling fan out there, honestly, except for a couple of small differences, especially with a lighting kit possibly. But for the most part, this is going to be a very, you should be able to follow this for almost any fan. Now this one specifically, if you're curious, it's from Hunter. Okay, so pretty much any of the Hunter brands will be very, very identical to this. And this happens to be the Meridale. Okay, this is a model of it. Let's just jump right in and start unpackaging it, going through what you've got in the box and what we're going to do with it. Also, the ceiling box we're going to stick this into did have a ceiling fan in it already. Okay, that's something you need to know. So it already was capable of handling a ceiling fan. Standard electrical box up in the ceiling, not necessarily able to hold a ceiling fan. There are ones that have special braces for that to hold the additional weight. Okay, so do kind of check that out first. Okay, I don't want you sticking a ceiling fan up there and it falling out. Alright, there's going to be a lot of stuff in here to go through, and I'm trying not to take too much time on it, okay? Alright, so right here we have our instructions. That's alright, we don't need those because you got me. Alright, here, so I'll unpackage these as we go. This is a specialty wrench. Put the camera a little bit better. This is a specialty wrench. Oh, there we go. You can see it there against my shirt. To help with the light globes. Okay, the glass globes are actually really hard to get in, and that's why they supply that. Here's our light kit over here. Okay, this is a fan that comes pretty much as unassembled as humanly possible. Okay. So the assembly is going to take quite a while, to be completely honest. Alright, so this is where the globes go. Some of these get bent a little bit. And I'm just going to go ahead and prep this right now. Okay. Let's take these nuts off here. The reason these have these big nuts here in the middle and then still have the thumb screws here is because this has a double glass. Alright, we got our fan blades right here. We'll cut those open in a minute. Okay. Most ceiling fans these days come with light bulbs. That's what these three are here. Okay. Right here. I have to unpackage these so you can see what they are as I go. Alright, this is our connector rod, or downrod for that, if you will. And I think it actually comes with a shorter one. That's pretty short right now. I think it comes with one that's only about an inch and a half shorter. With a short ceiling, I think we're going to switch it. But you can always get longer ones. That's an important part, because if you've got tall ceilings, especially like cathedral ceilings, you might want this to be like a foot or two, you know. And you can go back to the store where you bought this fan from and get longer ones. Okay. Try not to get buried in trash. Alright. This right here is a cap. This is if you don't use the light kit, okay? But we're going to use the light kit, so we're actually, that's pretty much just going to the wayside. Alright, and we got a bag here. Be careful of this one here. We got lots of little parts in it. And sometimes they stick to the outer bag. Let me get a little closer so I can quickly show you. Alright, we've got some screws, some rubber bushings, a couple more screws, some wire nuts. Okay. Set those to the side in a good place where you're not going to lose them. This right here, you see this package here, it's got these little rubber things and this clip. These are like balancing weights for the blades. I very rarely ever use these. Honestly, if you have a good fan, it's probably going to be balanced pretty good. And I actually find most of the time it's not that it's out of balance because they don't spin that fast. It's that they are actually, one of the blades is slightly bent. So it's scooping more than the rest of them. But anyways, alright. So we got our little pull chains. We'll set those to the side. Looks like one of them fell apart. Yay. Set that to the side for now. Alright. We have a mounting bracket here. Okay. Oh, here is the other down pull rod. Here's all the pieces. Those are the brackets there for the fan blades. And then we have the main shroud here and the main mounting bracket. Okay, so we got all that going on. Alright, that was in the first level. Now on the second level, we basically got the motor, okay, and it does have these down here where the big red tag is. These are all shipping brackets here to help keep it from shaking all apart, so we'll have to take that all apart later. Set that down to the side. And then we have our globes, okay, and let's hope they're none of them are broken. Okay, I'm going to use the box here so that I don't scratch anything up in the process. I'm going to go ahead and start prepping. Now I know some of you are really going to like this video because I mean, I like details and everything, and some of you would be like, it's just too much. You know, I guess for some of you who know a lot of this basic stuff but need to see the end, I say just fast forward to that, okay? So I got to show the detail stuff so that everyone can learn. Okay, this tag here, blah blah blah. Okay, let's go ahead and get our impact out with a Phillips bit. Let's zip these all off. We got to save the screws. These are the actual screws you're going to use to put the fan blades on, so they need to be saved in a good safe place here. Okay, so now we've got the main motor pretty much prepped. This is going to be the wire for the light kit. You can, if you want, just take that off. Okay, and then this wire here I left tied together because we're going to end up cutting that in a little bit, so I'm not worried about that just yet. Let's just set this to the side and move on to the blades. Alright, so we got the blade brackets right here. So just very quickly, just without scratching them, get them on out of here. Okay, now we're going to set these to the side and open up the blades. Alright, now be careful if you're going to cut this open, but there's generally a piece of like thick paper, almost cardboard paper, which got some shipping stuff on it. I cut right along that, and that way I won't actually scratch the blade. Okay, now check this out. You need to pay attention here because most ceiling fan blades are reversible. Alright, you see we got the, I don't know, kind of a light walnut here, and then we have the really dark walnut on this side, okay? So, this homeowner wants the lighter side, so when you put these together, you know, make sure you get it the right direction so that the right side is facing. I've seen some people and they got one oddball one in there, and it's like, what'd you do? Alright, anyways, we have a stop right here, okay? This bag here that I opened up earlier, I said was full of rubber bushings. Go ahead and get these out, try not to drop any like I just did, and then we're going to get them into the fan blades, okay? This is one of the things that takes a long time, oops, to do, so you just need some patience on this part here. I've got a little straight-headed screwdriver, slightly smaller one, because sometimes you need a little help getting these all the way through. So you're just going to kind of push it in. You know, let me get closer to the camera. Alright, so I got it pushed in, but you notice it's not all the way on the back side, so you try to pull it with your fingers, and that works. And sometimes that's where you need the screwdriver to help you. So you just got to insert this one in each hole, okay? So that's just going to spend my next 15 minutes doing that. Alright, now thank God for like time lapse and be able to cut out stuff, okay? That's 15 minutes of my life I can't get back. Okay, it really didn't take that long, but it felt like it. Alright, so this bag right here, it's got like these really big headed screws. Let me open it up without shooting them all across the whole floor here. Alright, so you see these guys right here? Big heads. Okay. Hold it like that. Alright. And those are going to hold the fan blades to the brackets. speed this up using my impact. And I don't sit there and ratchet it on like crazy. It's just as soon as it starts to click. If you have a drill, you can set the clutch setting so it's not too hard. Okay, you want these snug, but not crazy, right? Alright, so again, make sure that the face of the bracket is on the right face for the fan blade. Go ahead and start these with your fingers, because if you just start them with the drill, you'll probably strip them out. Okay. Okay, that's on snug and good. We're on the right side, so let's do the rest of them. Okay, I've got all the blades prepped and ready to go, so let's prep the mount here, okay? Let's just take this little tag off our ground wire here. Alright, there's a little screw. Alright, so we got the down pole here, there's a little screw right in here. So we're going to take that out. Okay, careful not to lose that. Alright, then the pole comes out. There's a little locking bar there, a little plastic collar, and our ground wire. And another little screw holding that in. Okay, so let's get the other two. Okay, here we go. Sorry. Alright, so here is the distance difference. So it's about 1.5 inches. Okay. So here is the difference between the two. So like I said, it's only about 1.5 inches at most. But on this ceiling here, because it's just an 8-foot ceiling, maybe not even quite that here in the basement, I need every little bit that I can get. And this is not a flush mounting option ceiling fan. Most ceiling fans these days do not have a flush mount option. So, but you might be changing this because you want a longer one. Alright, go ahead and grab the motor here, and we just had our little bar here, and we're going to attach this to it, okay? Now, you have to check on your model of ceiling fan. This is one of the main shrouds here, but this one here actually allows you to put it on as you're installing it, okay? Some of them have to be put on, and some of them actually have screws that screw it into the fan right there, and then you put this in. Kind of just check. Some of them won't let you just do that, okay? So we can actually set that to the side right now. So we got this little locking screw right here on the side. I know it might be hard to see. Just a little bitty bolt. I guess we'll go ahead and undo the twisty on the wires here. Okay, we are going to cut those later. Don't cut them too soon. Make sure you got everything figured out first. Get your pole in. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we're going to just... Okay, so we got all the wires here. We're just going to feed them through. We got the threaded side right there. Okay, I'll try to get them all in the... It's easier to feed them if they're all on the same side on the pin rather than going all over the place here. Actually, they need to be on the same side of the pin so that when it hits this insulated area, they can all go in together, okay? Alright, trying to get this. Alright, sometimes the threads on these aren't super clean, so I go backwards at first to try to get them so they're not cross-threading, so I can feel where it's going to go. Okay? And they're going to snug it up. You don't need a pipe wrench. Some of you are thinking, do I need a big pair of pliers or a pipe wrench? No, just do it. Get that snug by hand, where it's tight. And then we're going to, this little locking bolt right here, just going to get a little crescent wrench on it. I guess we started by hand. Okay. Okay, and that's snugged up now. Alright, so this isn't going to go anywhere. So we got our little ground wire here, and we got a whole lot of wire going up like that, okay? But our motor is ready to go into the ceiling mount. So let's get the ceiling mount into the ceiling. Alright, now guys, this is the screw that came out of the electrical box of the ceiling. Even though there was a screw that was holding the other ceiling fan up, some brackets have changed a little over the years. Okay, and the brackets that come with these, this is a normal 8-32 screw, and you can see it will hold in the slot, but all it takes is to turn it to the side a little bit and boom. And okay, I really don't like that. So, and even though that's a number 8 screw, what I like to do is I take a number 10 flat washers, okay, and then use those, and we just get such better holding power there, and it doesn't matter if you turn it to the side or anything like that. It's a stay put. So I highly suggest, even if it was holding a ceiling fan, is add these washers onto it, okay? Okay, I really like these mounts because they're actually easy to put up and then easy to install the fan into, okay? They got a big opening slot right there, so just use that to set the wires in. Okay, I'm going to get both of these started by hand. Okay, then from there, you can use your drill or your impact to get them in place. So you just kind of hold your bracket up there so it's kind of centered over the electrical box in the hole. Okay, so don't go crazy, but do make sure it's snugged up well. Okay, and we got our wires all going this way, so we're all good to go. Let's get the ceiling fan up and starting to get it assembled. We actually will put it up in sections and assemble it as we go. Now this part here, we're bringing the motor and putting it into the mount. I've already cut the wires to length, only because I started to install it and forgot to put the shroud on. Okay, so yay, that's why my wires are already cut and you guys didn't see it. This is kind of hard to do, this short hole. You want to stick it up in and then kind of turn it a little bit because this is kind of triangle shaped. Okay, and I better move the camera so you guys can see a little bit. Okay, hopefully you guys can see a little bit. And I already cut the wires coming out from the fan. Okay, I made them a little bit longer than the wires that are coming out from the ceiling. That's basically just good right there. Now some of you are going to be like, okay, I've only got a black and a white coming out of the ceiling, but I've got a blue, a black, and a white coming out of the fan. What the heck? Okay, really quick. Now you might have 2 blacks or a black and a blue coming out of the ceiling. And what that means is you have 2 different switches, one that can actually activate just the light, and one can activate just the fan. Okay, but if you don't, if you're like most of these situations where you just have 1 black, whether it's hardwired like an outlet or if it's on a switch, then you're going to take from the fan the black and the blue and we're going to put it together, okay? And that's what the pull strings are for. Now if your ceiling fan has a remote unit, then you just need to check your instructions for that and wire it up accordingly, okay? I'm sorry I don't have one here to demonstrate. Okay? Now the little wire nuts that come with it sometimes are just really barely enough to hold this together, but these will. So I'm starting off with the white. You see the short hole really sucks when you put the shroud in there. I was installing this really good. I'm like, oh wait a second, this is too easy because there's something missing. Okay. Oh, and you might want to check, make sure the power is off to this before you start. I do have a voltage detector, which makes it really easy to find out if there's power coming to it. And if you look at the top right of your screen, you'll see a video pop up there and you can check that out. There we go. Okay, they got beveled on the front and on the back, and they're just 2 by themselves. Now some fans will have 4 screws for this, but since this is just a shroud and doesn't actually support anything, 2 screws is just fine. Okay, everyone, we have the shroud in place. It's all wired up. All right, you should be able to do this to the fan. Everyone always freaks out when I do that. Oh, don't do that to the fan. No, it's made to be able to do that. Okay, if something hits it, it'll bounce. If it's on a cathedral type ceiling and it's not in the center peak, it's like on one side. It allows it to do this and still operate. Obviously, you need a longer pole where your blades are going to hit the fan or the ceiling. But let's just move on to the next part already. I'll quit talking about this. All right, the next part in the installation is going to be the ceiling fan blades. Okay, and we've already taken the screws out of here, so hopefully you put them in a safe place because now it's time to use them. And you'll see there's like two holes here, 2 holes here, and there's sections. There's 5 sets of holes that are really close to each other, and that's how you took them out. But that's not how you put them back in. Okay, we actually got to go to holes that are further apart. I like to take the fan blade and start with 1 screw in it, stick it in there, and then hold it in place with my drill or impact, and carefully get it started. Okay, I don't want it too tight so I can still move it for the next screw, and I don't want to cross thread it. Okay, so now we can get it into position here. Okay, blade 1 is down. Now we just gotta put the rest of them on. Alright, so now we're going to get the light kit here, and this one has a 2-piece light kit, okay? So it's going to go together. So we're going to install this cap here first into the ceiling fan, and then we're going to install the light kit into the cap, okay? Okay, the light kit has got 2 slots in it, open slots. So we're going to get 2 screws started, okay? And then hopefully maybe you can see it. There's your 2 slots. It goes on the screws and then spun to the side, and then we'll have 1 screw that locks it down here. Oops. Wires are kind of in the way. Okay. And then we'll tighten up the first 2 screws. Okay, now the light kit itself also has 2 slotted screw holes. So we can go ahead and get 2 of these screws started in here, which will make it easier to install. Because they didn't make a lot very easy on this one here. Okay, got those started. Alright, so we have our big old wiring clamp here, harness, whatever you want to call it. It's only going to go one direction. You can feel where the notch is, and then we have like the little squeeze and release thing here. Okay, so we're just going to snap together. They'll have colors that also match, so you should be able to find it. Now we're going to find our 2 slots, and the wires are going to fight you on this. They just will. Try to get them up in there and get it turned. Okay. You might need some help holding the fan because you might end up trying to spin the actual mount up there. Sometimes getting that going does take a little bit of effort. Alright, these globes are awesome, and I'm half being truthful because they look cool, and then the other half being completely sarcastic because they're a pain in the butt to install. Okay, so you're going to put the clear in first, and we're just going to do one of these at a time. Complete it. Okay. Alright, so we just got the thumb screws on like that. Now you have where the light comes through right here, you can see, and most of the time these fans, they get bent at some point, okay, and they're hardly centered. So I've done a couple of these fans for this homeowner, the same model. Sometimes they're like right on. Most of the time you gotta straighten it out, and right now that's the time to straighten it out. Okay, now we have the white globe and the big nut, okay. So we're gonna stick the white globe up here. If you got someone with long, skinny fingers, this is an awesome job for them. Now you got to get this nut started. Now I know you probably are thinking, well, there's a wrench for it, right? Yeah, but there's no way to start it with that wrench. Okay, it's not a socket. Oh, this one actually started good. That's actually rare. Okay, so hold it in place so you don't crack it, and get it all the way run up there by the fingers as much as you can. Okay, we're basically there. Now we're going to take that weird looking wrench, okay, stick the long ends up in there. Don't turn this on or electrocute yourself by sticking your finger in a light socket. And we're going to snug it up. Okay, just snug it up, don't go crazy. This is just holding glass, okay? If you crank it, you're going to crack it. Okay, and there we go. And then, let's get the other two done. Maybe they'll be as easy. Okay, got those all in. Now trust me, sometimes they fight you and they do not want to get started. So if you start having a problem getting this white one on, and your hands are getting tired, your forearms are getting tired, manhandling this is not the thing to do. That's the time where you go take a break and step back for a minute, because you're going to just end up breaking something. And then you'll really be pissed off, okay? So we've got these three little bowls. And some of you are probably asking, why do they have these tiny, bowls? Why there was these small base ones now? A couple of years ago, federal mandated, in the U.S. at least, that ceiling fans can't take the regular standard base bulbs anymore. Okay, it's just a thing. So don't get mad at the fan company. All right, now we've got these little dangly things to put on. We do have one that has a picture of a light bulb and the one that has a picture of a fan. Alright, now it's time to test our ceiling fan, okay? We've got it all installed, we're all ready to go. So, it's nice to have light. We know we got power. Okay, it's blinding me. Alright, one click, we'll put it on high, and then we can see how bad she shakes, if at all. Most decent ceiling fans won't really be shaken after a good install. Some of your cheap ones will have problems with that. You can see there's no shaking happening whatsoever. Okay, that's high, medium, low, and then off. And I'll show you two other things on this fan to wrap this thing up. Alright, now some of you are going to say, well, my fan's wobbling, and what do you mean about the whole fan blade being bent thing? Okay. I find that most of the time it's not an out of balance issue. Not saying that it couldn't be, but I find most of the time that one of your blades is bent a little bit like this. So we got this good angle of the blade like this, but the mounting bracket or adapter, whatever you want to call it, is bent a little bit. So either the blade's, its pitch has gone flatter or it's gone steeper, and that's what you're having problems with. So a lot of times you actually just gotta bend that back very carefully. If you can kind of use something to measure the ends of the blades, and then you can a lot of times find one that's off, and then just very, very carefully try to bend it back so that it matches the other blades. Actually, I found that works better than trying to balance them. Okay. Now, one more thing. Ceiling fans will have this little black switch right here. Okay. And that's not an off-on switch; it's a directional switch. Okay. Right now the ceiling fan is going this way. So when it's going this way, the air is being pushed downward. So it'll blow right on you like a normal fan. Okay, but some people like the air to be pulled up, you know, the different seasons. And I honestly forget, you know, people will say it one way or the other. Like in the wintertime, you know, they want the hot air to be blown down, but in the summertime they want it sucked up, or vice versa. I don't know, it's your personal preference. If you flip it, it's going to spin the other way and it's going to pull the air up, okay? That's really what that switch does, and that's it. Okay, so thanks for joining me on this video. I hope I was able to help you guys out on installing this fan. I was able to clarify some things to make it easy, straightforward. I'm not trying to flip through directions that are written in 4 different languages. Other than that, guys, I'll have a, you know, subscribe to the channel thing pop up over here. Over here I'll have some videos pop up that you can check out or mine. Take a minute, subscribe to the channel because that helps. Also have a great website where I have a lot of my videos organized because I do more stuff than just the do-it-yourself kind of projects. So down in the description below will be a clickable link to greatwhiteninja.com, my website. Other than that, you guys have a great one.